Well, my friends, it's finally here. A World War I game that we can actually be proud of and one that we can be excited to play. That's right, the Great War Western Front has been released. Well, it's going to be released for you guys in about 3 days, I believe. That being said, I want to show you guys a little bit of what the game has to offer now, and I am just so excited. We have a skirmish mode, obviously, just, to do battles against the AI, if that interests you, of course. But what I'm really excited about is the fact we have campaign mode and multiplayer, as well as a historical battle section, which allows us to play any number of different battles all the way from 1914 to 1918, and really gives us a much more epic scale of the fights themselves. But again, this campaign is on its own absolutely fascinating. We're going to take a look at it today, just to give you guys an idea of kind of what to expect and what this is going to be like. I already have an allied campaign going, as you can see, but I think it's only fair we start a new one here for the viewers. So let's take a look at the intro video here for the Central Powers. And we are going to start off at Soldier difficulty. There are 5 difficulties, so we are 3 out of 5. And if you so choose, if you don't want to work your way through all of the research, etc., you can start in 1916. We are going to have gas, tanks, things of this nature. We're going to start early, though, in 1914. Also really love the art. The music style is also fantastic in the game. And there's these intro videos that you're going to see. I hope that they play one here. Which really gives you a feel for what to expect, the deep nature of this game.
With the death of the Archduke, Europe is propelled into chaos. Nations honoring treaties and alliances forged years before are now plunged into a conflict they cannot avoid, sparked by a single gunshot. Here on the Western Front, nations draw their battle lines. The Central Powers of Austria-Hungary and Germany now face the combined alliance of France, Britain, and their colonies. The Great War is about to begin.
Melde gehorsamst! Die russische Zweite Armee wurde bei Tannenberg umfassend zurückgeschlagen. Aber ihre Truppen wurden schneller mobilisiert, als wir es erwartet hatten.
Und was ist mit unserem Vormarsch durch Belgien?
Aus Belgien wird erheblicher Widerstand gemeldet und das britische Expeditionsheer ist nunmehr in den Konflikt eingetreten. Unsere Befähigung, die Westfront zu überrennen, wurde ein wenig eingeschränkt, aber ich bin zuversichtlich, dass...
Paris?
Bei unserem Durchbruch an der Marne erleiden wir schwere Verluste. Unsere Befehlshaber vor Ort sind versprengt. Von Kluck hat sich mit seinem Armeeverband auf das Nordufer der Aisne zurückgezogen und baut dort Stellungen aus, damit wir uns für einen Großangriff auf Frankreich sammeln können.
Russland im Osten, Großbritannien und Frankreich im Westen. Alle graben sich ein. Wir müssen wachsam bleiben.
Thus the Western Front was established. From the fields of Flanders to the borders of Switzerland, the great nations would make their stand. The fate of millions was now in the hands of a few.
And here we go, guys. So, of course, you're actually going to get a campaign introduction here. And the goal, of course, is to expand, to take French territory, take all of this French territory, and, of course, capture Paris. As for the enemy, they're supposed to push us all the way back to Deutschland, or simply stop us from taking Paris. Now, if you look up here, there is a national will score. Basically, this will go up if you win battles, and it'll decrease or go down if you lose battles. Makes sense, pretty counterintuitive, and so it really is all based on morale. It's all based on how much damage you can cause the enemy and avoid yourself. So we're really playing the numbers game here, and I think that's the right way to approach this. Now, being the Germans, I think we definitely have to be aggressive here. So we are going to hit the allies over here and get our first battle going, guys, as the Central Powers. Now, I want to be clear. There is a research element to this game, where right now we have very standard infantry. Over time, we can improve our infantry, we can improve our artillery, our machine guns, we can even eventually get gas. So this is the very beginning of the war. Let's see how it goes. The first attack in Luneville. Now, before we get started, there's a few things we have to do. And actually, initially, when you're on the Western Front, or any front for that matter, you're not going to get all of the firing trenches. You're going to get just a few basic firing trenches. As you research more and learn more, of course, you can add to these existing trench lines. Now, what we're really going for, guys, is that point A. If we can grab point B and the other point, that's even better. But I'm not exactly expecting it, let's put it that way. The most important thing I think right now is going to be that wonderful long-range artillery, which is going to be able to assist us in getting across. And we've got some heavy field artillery and some light field artillery. The only downside is these are extremely expensive. So I'm actually going to put one over here so that it can sort of cover the entire map. And now, the rest of our focus is just going to be a couple machine gun nests. This is in case the enemy decides to do a counterattack, which could happen, even though we are really the ones on the offensive here. They could try to counterattack and take this position from us. So there we go. We've got as much as we can in terms of the additional sort of trench lines, things like that. Now, I am going to be just setting up some men, getting them ready for the charge. Like I said, I am going for that that A location, I should say. So I want to make sure that we have enough men to actually attempt to take it. That's a pretty good starting line there. And over here, we can add even more just to defend this area from attack. But there we go. We've used up all of our supply points. So expect this to be a very fast battle, and likely not in our favor. We'll have to wait and see. Here we go. Let's begin. Now, of course, just like any battle, we're going to need to scout the area out. And if we had actually purchased the balloons, we would be able to get pretty much a top-down view of the enemy. We don't have that ability right now, so we're going to have to go the old-fashioned way, guys. And that is over the top, into the enemy trench line, with hopefully enough artillery support to make it worthwhile. Here we go. Gonna grab some more men. They're gonna go into that trench line too, and about halfway here. Right now, I'll start bringing up additional troops because we're going to need to support this attack. And here we go. We're going to start right there. We're going to select the heavy artillery, and we are going to start firing right over here. I just want to wait till the men are a bit closer. I could have waited a bit longer, but we'll see what happens. And look at that. They're going to drop already right on top of our men as well. This is an artillery war, my friends. Come on, boys. Come on. Go, men, go. Those machine guns are firing away, but you guys get the basic idea. We should have waited a little bit longer with those artillery bombardments. There we go. Heading in with one group. Can they make it? One group's gotten in. Want to keep on going? Second group has gotten in, but unfortunately, you can see what happens when you go on a full-on march across enemy territory. And again, depending on how many men you have to begin with, you can get a little riskier each and every time. But see, our dedication is appreciated by the High Command, and because of that, you can see we do have additional supplies, and they want us to attempt another attack. I thought it was a damn good try, so this time we're just going to wait till we get a little bit closer before we get that artillery support, and I want to make sure we have enough supply points. Of course, as you unlock new technologies, as you purchase new units, you're going to be able to use units aside from just basic infantry. You'll have advanced infantry. You'll have infantry made specifically to take on trenches, things of that nature. So definitely really, really interesting as you proceed through the game. Let's grab these three. Here we go. Heavy. And light. Now what we can do is try and avoid the enemy's artillery by actually going a different way, but see, this costs us time, and we do not have time. That's the problem. We don't have time to wait. So we're going straight into it, guys, straight to the trench. We can see that that machine gun is being more and more weakened, but I don't think that that second group will make it. I do think the group on the right is going to make it into the trench, though. Sehr good, sehr good. Try to get into this trench as soon as we can with the remaining units. And as you can see, they are going to be trying to fire over there at that trench, too. But we're going to keep our guys right there. I'm not moving them anymore. And in fact, I'd like to get some artillery support now. Hit any of the enemy units in this trench, but they are going to move into our trench and try to overwhelm us here. Come on, boys, hold on. Hold on, look at that attempt to overwhelm. Come on. Oh, they are sending everybody in to try and stop the men. Come on, let's do it. Should have gone straight for the attack. And actually, the weird thing is your guys cannot fire in trenches at enemies in other trenches. That's one thing that I'm not exactly a huge fan of. But the issue here is a lack of supply. Our supply is not sufficient for us to keep supporting these attacks. Here we go. We'll try and drop some arty on them. But I think that's going to be a failed attack. And it's a great example of the kind of battles you're likely to have here in the game. And the kind of, difficulties you're going to face facing, of course, an enemy like this. So let's bring those boys back, the ones that still can make it back. And there is a retreat button to actually save the lives of some men. You also get some additional supply points back for doing that. So we will get our boys off the field. It also looks like the enemy has been testing this line. Look at that, man. They are attacking with full force here. I must say, pretty impressive here. We can try to help the boys, but unfortunately, the enemy is just out of range of our guns here. This, again, is something to do with gun placement to consider. However, still going to drop some rounds there. Who knows? Some might go past, and we might still get some additional casualties. Now, speaking of the casualties, I really do want to show you what those look like. First of all, let's let the enemy approach here. They're attacking the machine guns. Feuersatz! And you can see the cohesion there. There is a cohesion bar. What I should have done, though, is gotten this infantry, like, right up there. And I warned you guys in the beginning, but I wanted you guys to get a chance to see it, how the enemy can do a counterattack. And completely change the game for you, essentially. Fire! And what we are going to do, guys, after a capture point is contested or taken, we can go ahead and accept the ceasefire button. This, at least, is going to be a defeat for us for sure. But what I want to see now is the actual casualty count and show you guys how awesome that is. So when we actually just look over here at the casualties, look at this. Basic infantry lost 3,000. French basic infantry lost 3,129. One heavy artillery piece lost. But you can see here, there's also a national morale loss. There's also medals given to the specific battle commanders for how well they did in this particular fight. I just think this level of detail is fantastic. And of course, when you got a large strategy map like we do in this game, there's so many different things you can try. So if something doesn't work right the first time, try something new the next time. And did I mention that there are advanced weapons in the game, like gas attacks, things of that nature? Well, let's take a look at a battle, and specifically a historical battle, that really focuses on those gas attacks together. Because I want to show you guys just everything you can expect in this game. It's not just going to be, of course, what's called the campaign, but we've got this beautiful historical battle section, and we're going to jump into the Battle of Ypres, because I want you guys to see what a gas attack looks like here. Now, this is actually the start of a gas attack, so it wasn't actually released via artillery. This particular chlorine gas was just released out of basically a tube, out of a sort of a piping system. And that's exactly what this battle is going to show almost immediately. If you guys are enjoying this and you want to see more of this World War I combat, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below. Subscribe if you're new. All of those things really, really help us out here on the channel.
Frustrated with the persistent stalemate against the French lines, Germany decided to experiment with a new tactic. On April 22, 1915, they opened up canisters and released 168 tons of chlorine gas onto the battlefield, which crept across no man's land into the Allied trenches, the first major use of chemical weapons on the Western Front. Confusion was followed by chaos and panic. To quote Colonel Henri Mordac,
"Haggard, their overcoats thrown off or open wide, their scarves pulled off, running like madmen, directionless, shouting for water, spitting blood, some even rolling on the ground, making desperate efforts to breathe.
The gas caused nearly 3,000 casualties, including approximately 1,400 deaths, in very little time. The chaos caused the lines to buckle, leaving a massive gap. It was up to the newly arrived Canadian forces to try and fill the hole and push the Germans back.
And there we go, guys. We actually have orders to protect this route. And this is one of the massive historical battles we're going to get. I told you guys, the maps are going to change. So you could actually even get temperature changes. You could get a snowy map, or you could get a temperate climate, or it could be raining, etc., etc. The whole goal in this battle is to hold these specific points, of course, until reinforcements arrive to fill in the existing gaps. But what I really wanted to show you are these gas attacks and what they can do to a trench. We'll also get a little bit of World War I action in here, so everybody wins as far as I'm concerned. Man, look at No Man's Land. It is bad. And there we go. That is the release of the chlorine gas. You'll see that the men will actually start to fall back. I can't even control them at the moment. That particular action needs to happen. But it shows you the panic that would have occurred initially when gas was released. No gas masks, nothing like that. You know, it was very new to the battlefield. So these guys are just going to panic and run. And I would do the exact same thing. There we go. No one wants to deal with gas. See some over here too. These men are being quite brave, and the gas is going just on past them. Well, now we need to try and provide artillery support during this fight to allow the men to hold their positions. Of course, the Frenchmen in the trenches right now, there's not many of them, and they're going to be overrun damn quickly. So let's get to work, and hopefully we can start getting some really, really quick shots here. As you can see, they are coming over the wire there. Boom. We want to try and knock out as many as possible, guys. Here we go. Boom. And this is part of the beauty of the game here, is just being able to see these massive attacks. Over here, we're going to have to drop some artillery too. Of course, we can't be everywhere at once, and this right now is just sort of the initial stages of the fight. But look at how that already goes straight to work, man. I love that. You can still see some dead men on the field there, all of the victims of the artillery barrage. However, as you can see, couldn't stop all of them. And in this battle, you're not really supposed to. The thing is, we're going to get our Canadian reinforcements, and we're going to retake all of these trenches from the enemy. We've got some of our Canadian forces here right now, and we can actually start sending them over to point C. You'll see also that as long as the men are within the trench system, they'll use the trench to go to the next trench instead of like climbing out and going over the top. That's just not going to happen. So let's take a look here. I don't think we can purchase them yet, but we can certainly continue to weaken the existing enemy attackers. And this way, they're just going to directly walk into another line of artillery. Do the same over here, too. Never underestimate some well-placed arty. Just to weaken the enemy there.
Stand by for orders. Ready yourselves.
All right, and there we go, guys. Now our Canadians have arrived. We can really start getting aggressive. And as you can see, there are units like Raiders. These guys are created exclusively to take trenches. You know, they go in there with shovels, with even rudimentary maces. You know, like a stick, as you can see in the picture there, with some nails drawn into it.
Reinforcements ready.
Man, it's just amazing weapons. Really, really dangerous stuff. But that's their whole goal, is to take that trench line. So I'm going straight for the attack here. Boom. And just to make sure we make it through, we want to get some artillery support. And as all this is going to be going on, the enemy is going to be bombarding us with chlorine gas. So obviously, if they drop that gas, and as we attack, I should say, it's going to be very hard for us to take any particular position from them. So over here, let's drop some here. We got some incoming chlorine gas, by the way, there. I'm going to drop some artillery here, but really, I'm just trying to make it through. And look at that. Looks like our men got to the first trench line, but the enemy is still in that position. We're going to drop some more arty on them and go for another charge. You can see the second the arty stops, that machine gun starts firing again.
Set positions.
We have new orders.
Attack! Go for it, boys. I guess our guys are French Canadians. There we go with the à l'attaque. But there we go. Sure enough, they got into the trench position. We're going to send some guys over here, too. And at this point, you can already see the point being retaken. Our men are going to start throwing grenades over onto the enemy artillery just to get rid of it. But it's a good example at how you actually secure a trench here. Boom, baby. Position C retaken. Now we've got some additional balloons. We've got more resources to take additional points. And of course, we've got a whole battlefield ahead of us. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first look and gameplay video on the game. I want to play some more of this so badly for you guys. I want to do some historical battles, hell, even maybe a campaign. And I haven't said that about a strategy game in a very long time. So if you guys want to see that, you know what you have to do. Like, comment, subscribe. And please, with the comments, I want to know what you guys think of the game. Honestly, be totally honest with me. Does it look good? Does it feel good? Or is it, you know, looking like just another remake or not a remake, but like just more of the same? What do you guys think? Because I actually see something quite original here, and I hope that I'm not mistaken on this. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.